capacity, South Africa is well positioned to benefit from the opportunities that the continental free trade area will provide. At the same time, Africa's export sectors will need more international trade agreements to access market opportunities and global value chains. We must strengthen collaboration on skills transfer, on training, and on information sharing. We must reduce impediments to trade, both tariff and non-tariff. Greater investment and trade between our two countries is key to our collective growth and prosperity. I'd like to see us continue to work together to strengthen the trade environment and investment climate in our respective countries. In the wake of COVID-19, this assumes added and very urgent attention. In the words of Abraham Lincoln, the dogmas of the quiet past are inadequate to the stormy present. The occasion is piled high with difficulty, and we must rise with the occasion. As our case is new, so we must think anew and act anew. I'd like to thank you again for this opportunity and look forward to our discussions during the course of this 1 hour. I thank you. What's happening now?
Senior Advisor for Africa at Covington and Burling, where I also chair the Africa practice. Covington and Burling is a law firm, 101 years old in Washington, D.C. And we have an office, an Africa-facing office in Johannesburg, where we are 10 years old. And it's a reflection of our deep commitment to the continent. So it's my honor to be the moderator of today's conversation. And just before we get to the questions, I just want to note that since you launched your investment effort, very bold initiative for $150 billion of investment 3 years ago, that in fact, U.S. foreign direct investment in South Africa has grown about 8%. To about $8 billion. And I think that's a reflection of the response to your effort, not only to attract more investment, but to get your government to be good partners for American companies. So before we get into the questions, I was just struck by that one example that you gave us, Mr. President, about Aspen Pharma and Johnson & Johnson. I just wanted to ask if you could give us one more example of what you see as a model U.S. investment in South Africa as it relates to cooperation between business executives and government, job creation, environmental standards, and all the relevant, and technology transfer, the priorities that you have enunciated. If I could just get your thought, just in response to that, and then we'll get into the questions.
Thank you very much for that question. There are so many numerous examples of how U.S. companies have jumped to the occasion and have done even much more than what we had expected. And I cite Aspen Pharmacare together with Johnson & Johnson, but there have been many more. The acquisition by PepsiCo of Pioneer Foods is a great example where there was real good collaboration. The continued participation of AB InBev with my very good friend Carlos Brito is another one. Coca-Cola has been in this market for a very long time. And recently, we've had the real pleasure of having Amazon web services, making a huge investment in South Africa on technology and information technology. That's transfer of technology, transfer of knowledge, and all these companies that I've cited have brought investments into South Africa, massive investments, which we welcome. They've also brought technology. They've brought the creation of jobs and preservation of jobs. And for this, we really applaud them. But they've also sharpened our own wits in as far as continuing to urge us to create a climate that is conducive for business to operate. Much of the reforms that we are embarking upon now have also to a large extent been inspired by those businesses, but also by our collaborators.
The addition of the words at the bottom